It's the time to get down.
Okay, you know
How
what?
many thought of it?
First of all,
Y'all thought of it.
you have an issue with.
I'm trying to think.
You
You,
have an
think of
issue.
sports. Don't you think of your jock strap?
I'm gone, man. I'm gone. All right, you guys. Let me
Man,
just.
you don't have to wear one
I'm not gonna listen to
anymore.
him anymore. Let me just do this. Hey, we're gonna do some sports real quick. You know, we don't have a lot of sports, and there's one subject dominating. I guess you can call it the news wire. Right now, I call it the virtual wire because we're in a different state of mind when it comes to communication. But you know, if there's a sports agent out there, Mario, his name is Josh Luck.
Josh Lux rhymes with what?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because every time they, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna. I know what
Rhymes
you're
with-
gonna.
rhymes
I
with
know what you're gonna
tux.
say.
If you have to wear a tux,
I'm not saying
tuxedo.
that. I'm not saying.
Josh
I'm not-
Lux wears a tux. I don't know what you were thinking.
No, I'm going there. Hey, look, the bottom line is Mario and I, we've always talked about this. We said, look, here's the thing. We do believe that the athletes should get some compensation. The bottom line is that they need to be paid. Now,
Yes.
it's not a big story, Mario. We don't have to tell anybody anything new. Josh Lux said, I paid college players, of course, not only fringes, benefits, money, cash, you name it. Okay. He's already looked at that. He's done some with.
Who'd he pay?
Okay, about to go there. About to go there. See, I'm about to say. See, I was going to go there. I was going to tell you.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, you didn't know about this part.
I'm
Okay.
curious.
Oh yeah, you're curious. All right. Well, look, he's already got a story in Sports Illustrated, so it's happening right now. He is the Canseco, I guess you can relate to college, but the difference is it's not steroids. At the same time, of course, he's being considered a snitch. But let me go on and give you the story real quick. He has an article that will hit the newsstands later this week, and it details how he claims, or Josh claims, that he paid or provided gifts to more than 30 college athletes. And that's including former first-round picks, and that's Ryan Leaf, which, of course, turned out to be a bust, Jonathan Ogden, Jameer Miller, Chris Mims, rest in peace, he passed away in 2008, and R.J. Soward, just to name a few. So,
What kind of gifts?
hey, gifts, whatever.
Sexual gifts?
Well, see, the part that he's not saying is... see,
I
that's-
want to hear something good dirty.
Well, see, what they're saying is this. Here's
Sporty
the part.
cars.
No. The part that he's making you go read is a Sports Illustrated article. They're
What if he
admitting-
gave him cutlery and a lovely set of sheets or towels?
Are you trying to steer this conversation into something a little
I
bit
just
more?
want to make sure the
You
gifts are
trying
at
to-
least like a Maserati or something.
Well, you may find out about some of that.
Okay.
See, the part that nobody's. Here's
they
the
didn't
thing.
say what the gifts were.
No, Mario, you know what the part that's interesting? I have to say this. With Canseco, with baseball,
Uh-huh.
there was a big thing about no, we didn't, no, I didn't. No, it's two responses here. The players, most of them have said yes, and some says, I just don't want to comment. So there's no denials yet.
Oh,
So what you got is a story here where everybody's going, well, bottom line, what do you believe? They should be paid, right?
I think. All right, yeah, right. What's after the fact? What are they gonna do? Go back? I mean, see, here's the thing. Violating the NCAA rules is not the same as breaking a law.
Right.
So the question is, did they break any laws? If they didn't break any laws, I don't see where you actually can do anything.
Right.
Because what are you going to do? Come back and say, well, you guys were bad boys. They go like, so?
Right.
I mean, who are you?
I agree.
It's like saying you cheated on your SATs or something. It's now 40 years later. Yeah, you know.
Right.
So I'm not saying that it's not, that is, I mean, we should criticize something, but I'm just saying the ability to actually go back and enforce anything, is there any
Well,
ability?
Well, here's the part that they're doing. They're investigating, and you hear the
Who's
commissioner.
investigating?
The commissioner has already said until we determine more facts, he's staying away from even.
Which commissioner?
Well, not the commissioner. I'm sorry. The NCAA.
I knew the NCAA, but the people from the
NCAA.
right? They have a fact finding team.
And they won't have to find too many facts.
No.
Because all they need is one example. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's just say this. There's some guilt there. This guy is having his coming out because, one, he has kids in his he has kids, family, and the whole thing. He says, hey, I'm out of the game. Let me tell you what I've done, and I've done it on a minor level. If I've done it on a minor level, just take the next step and go to the ones who go after the big, powerful athletes who are more than the number one choices. So here's the thing.
Big gangsters.
So are we in support that they should be allowed to take advantage of those opportunities as students, or should they just stay true to the cause that they should accept nothing until the changes come?
Well, no, I don't.
See, it's a hard
The
one.
argument to me depends how you want to interpret this, but I would say to me, this is an argument. I'll use it the way I want to use it, which is to say this is an argument to open up really what athletes are able to enjoy and
Right.
get as part of their, I think that the schools should be forced to like disclose what they make
Right.
on the athletes, and that a
Right.
certain portion of that should be put aside mandatorily. It should be handled like that. If you want to be all into your business,
Right.
let's talk about that,
Right.
and make sure that because what we're accusing you of is profiting to an unfair degree.
Right.
Everybody's sort of willing to let you profit as an institution, really, when you
Right.
got to look at people.
Right.
But are you profiting to an unfair degree at the expense of the athletes?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. I think they should be able to get a car.
Right.
I don't think they should be able to get a Ferrari.
Right.
But why? I mean, if you're the top player for a top team, you mean you can't get a little transportation vehicle that gets you around to get burnt? I mean, come on, you guys. Let's be realistic. I think it's unfair that you should. That's no different than than you getting a scholarship,
Right.
or free books or whatever you get. Get all of that, and they should be able to get even a stipend.
Yeah.
To me, a stipend, and a stipend should be up enough to make a difference.
Right. Now, I believe that you can get a across-the-board stipend, just like you said. The hard part about it is that the percentage of athletes, there's so many arguments on the side. The percentage of athletes who are going to go on to be pros is based on the investment the agent has based on where they think their career is going to go. And the other part about what the agent said was interesting to me. He said, now think about the money that we shell out to those who never pan out. That money doesn't come back.
Well,
so they're
But
not
you're
always
rich.
winning.
That's their business investment.
No,
and
I-
they still probably profit the vast
And
majority.
I agree with you. And what he's saying is this, okay, is this a story more about the student athletes in as much as it is really about busting out the agents? And the agents
It's
are
about
the ones-
busting out the agents.
It
But
is.
here's the thing, too, Vic. Let me add this about the stipend thing. Because I'm not really saying you should do. Let me tell you one of the things that it automatically makes happen.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you put the stipend in, you kind of make sure that the big schools get all the. And they already get all the top player.
They do it now.
But after that, none of the small schools
The
will be
same.
able to afford that, and so they won't be able to offer that.
Well, look, I look at it no different than what's happening now. Certain teams get certain preferential treatment in media.
Okay.
They get certain treatment in bowl games. You have to sit there and go, look, here's some teams that are playing like 4 or 5 games above 500. They don't get invited to a bowl game, but if it's a team like Notre Dame or similar, and they're basically at 500, they still get voted in. Even in the Pac-10 or any others, those teams who are powerful in presence share what they call the revenues of the conference. So you get these conference agreements that's already set up to empower, not just because the
That's
teams,
true.
the teams are doing lesser in their win category. Here's these other teams from other smaller conferences, and they say, well, what do we have to do to get the respect? A la
Well,
Boise
that's the
State.
problem when you try to go after fairness, because first of all, we can't ever even agree what that would even be.
Right.
So it's hard to move toward it. We have different concepts.
Right.
And I must admit, it's hard because you can't make everything quote unquote fair.
Right.
I'm not sure everything should be fair. Fair means everything on the same level.
Right.
That's impossible.
No, you're right. And I think it leads me to this answer that I had with this question. Would Josh Luck's official admission impact college football? Asked Jose Canseco. I'd say no, because you have to come to the defense more of the agents more so than the students. And I don't think it's going to shake up everybody. And who's going to go out there and pay for the money to investigate the agents and follow the line?
The NCAA
The
doesn't.
trail. They're not gonna do it.
See, here's the thing. The NCAA is not going to do it because it doesn't behoove you.
Right.
Well, if you find anything, it just adds more scandal. That doesn't help you. So it's better for you not to look real hard.
True.
Because you might see something.
Right. Okay, now give me this then. What are the pros and cons of Mr. Luck's admission?
One of the cons is that you have to constantly say his last name, which is going to make people like me always, insert some kind of satirical comment.
Right.
But, he grew up with that. If you grow up with a last name Lux,
Right.
every day in gym class,
Right.
even your friends called you names,
Right.
okay? The people who were your boys made fun of your name.
Right.
It just comes with having that name, right?
Right.
Okay, so we
Okay.
know that.
Well,
so
I
that's
agree.
the con. The pro,
Yeah.
I don't know that. Okay, again, it doesn't help the players. It doesn't help the league. It doesn't help anybody. It may help him sell a book.
But and I agree. Now here's the
It
part.
doesn't help any because it's that kind of a scandal where everybody gets sort of shitted on, and so nobody
cared. Right.
wants it really out. It doesn't. No one looks good by that.
Well, I can tell you he's impacting people because there's this cat named Mel Kiper. He does a lot of what they call the surveying and analysis of those players who are going to impact in the college game coming out of high school. He does the rankings and everything. Immediately, they had him in not a rebuttal response because Josh basically said, let me tell you what's going on. There's a place here where even a Mel Kiper or not agents per se can guide students just by being in a conversation with them, whether his intent
Right.
is to or not. Immediately, Mel Kiper got on the line, and I said, okay, here's the part that he's doing. He's a fast talker, and he's going to couch his data based on what he discovered. So every scenario he used that pulled him into what this Josh claimed was based on, well, I had him down at 100, but he came in on the draft at 35. In every scenario, most of them, he said, I underscored the value of them. So that has nothing to do with it. What he's trying to tell you, he says, yes, I'm here to support the students. That's what Mel Kiper is saying. He says, but yeah, I do influence them just by being on the phone. That's what Josh is saying.
So what about, that's almost like, there's laws against rich folks discussing their trades.
Yeah.
Like, how you going to enforce that?
Yeah.
Me and you, we the 10 richest. That's why we have a club. So we can go there and discuss our trades when you ain't around.
Right.
With a whole lot of shrimp and all kind of. So it's stupid because on the surface,
Right.
insider trading has to be endemic.
Yes.
This kind of cheating has to be endemic.
Right.
Like steroids is endemic.
Right.
When something is everybody's using it to that degree, it's part of the fabric of that system.
I agree.
And that's why no one has an answer.
Okay, and then let me ask you this. Okay, what student athletes benefit from this story?
The broke ass ones.
Wait a minute. Why do they benefit from this story?
Because now they know they need to go looking for some money
And then where they go look for money at?
on the internet
No.
with some dirty agents.
Thank you. See, here's the part that I want
What you call dirty? See,
I'm
now
not
you
saying they're dirty.
If mom is home and, some people don't understand the immediacy of food and warmth. And so some of these people playing ball come from a place where everybody back home
Right.
is hungry and cold.
Right. And let me say this to everybody who wants to sit back and rally around, and I've never rallied around this to say that person should be penalized. I bet you all of you guys can look at my eyes right now. Okay, check this out. How do you feel about Reggie Bush now? Okay, all of a sudden you sit there and go, he's been penalized for doing something that's considered an atrocity as it relates to a Heisman Trophy winner who accepted something that's mere pittance against this man's claim of how much money and gifts he's given. I'm not hitting the ages for this, and I'm not hitting Reggie Bush or the athletes. The first thing I'm hitting is the institution that controls that they're victimized for trying to do something for the players. So the Heisman Trophy, what does it mean? As far as I'm concerned, Reggie still has a Heisman Trophy no matter what you say or do. Because I truly believe that athletes are in a position where they basically know, you guys are making all this money from us, and here we are. If we do anything outside the lines, we're penalized. Students that come behind us to this institution is penalized. But but you guys keep the merchandising money, right? You don't give that back. I know, man. Let me stop.
That's weird. We're calling you out. That's Vic's calling you out button. We're zapping him, Vic, because I'm with you. You guys know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
I've been saying it all along. Let's zap it one more time.
Oh, you're going to have fun with this. See, he's enjoying it. That's the close-up of it.
This is what else we want to tell you. That's what we think about the NCAA.
Right. So, hey, look.
In other words, we're not happy with you.
I say, look, hey, look, we're not telling
we wouldn't
anybody.
really shoot you.